duplication or double work. We are going to focus on a few practices. And again, I remind all of you that these practices are taken from primary 4 papers. Okay, so the difficulty levels are higher than normal so that I can challenge you and stretch you a little bit further. Okay, no point doing things that are easy if we find that they are able to be done by us quite easily, because then that doesn't stretch us, right? That doesn't help us grow or improve in our comprehension, vocabulary, or grammar skills. Okay, so I'm pushing you a little bit, but you should find that this is still extremely manageable. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is the visual text, right? Now for visual text, you must always identify the keywords in the question before you go over to look for the same keywords in the passage itself, which will lead you to your answer. So find the keywords in the question, map it to the keywords in a passage, and then find your answer from there. Okay? Remember the 2 principles that we did for our closed passage yesterday? The first principle was best fit, and the second principle was elimination. Can you all remember this from yesterday, those of you who attended? Okay? Elimination means to remove everything that's not important, and best fit means to choose the one that is the best for the answer given. And when you do that, you will always get the correct answer. Okay, eliminate all of the less suitable answers and fixate or focus on the one most suited. And that way, you minimize mistakes to maximize your marks. Okay, and that was something else that we covered as well. These strategies all help us to minimize our mistakes, right? Minimize mistakes for the purpose of maximizing our marks. Minimizing mistakes means maximizing marks. Okay, right? So that's what we always want to do. Now, let's look at the first one. Okay, the fun run is organized by. Now, the keyword here is organized by, right? So I'm looking for the person who organized the fun run. The person who organized the fun run. Now, anybody here wants to give me a try? Because the word organized does not actually happen in the picture. It does not happen in the visual text, okay? So I'm looking for something that's the same meaning as organized by. Organized by, okay? Let's see, Alexander, would you like to give it a try and explain to us your answer? So which is the word that I'm looking for besides organized by?
Presents.
Okay, very good. Where do you find the word presents?
The Singer Time Presents Fun Run.
Very good. Right on the top, right? Okay, so the word presents, okay, is the same as the word organized by. Now, did any of you, be honest, raise your hands, did any of you think it was sponsored? Right? Yeah, very good. So you see the word sponsored is put there to trick you, right? To make you think that it's by. Why? Because the word by, right? Here, the word by and the word by here would seem to lead you to think that sponsored is the same as organized, but it isn't. It isn't, okay? So Singer Times Presents means Singer Times organized the fun run. And sponsored by, anybody by any chance knows what sponsored by means? Does anybody know what sponsored by means? Oh, Brandon, very good. Brandon, go ahead. Tell us what sponsored by means.
That means like they help inside the project.
No, that's not the meaning of sponsored by. Anybody else? Andrea, go ahead.
Like paid by.
Paid by, very good. So when you are sponsored by, right, that means this person provides the money for you to pay for this event, okay? So this person organizes, and then this person pays the money, okay? It's very much like the school organizes a learning journey, but your parents will pay the entry fee for you to go into the museum that you're visiting. Got it, everybody? So the school is the organizer, your parents are the sponsors. Do you get it? Okay. So to sponsor something means to give money for that thing to be organized. Okay. To sponsor something means to give money for that thing to be organized. So therefore, the answer to question 15 is actually 2 and not 1, as many of you may have mistakenly chosen. Can you all see how tricky this can be? Right? But remember, again, this is a primary 4 paper, so it's a little bit more complex. You will expect simpler answers in your paper, okay? So not to worry, but I wanted you all to see how it can be tricky that way. Were you all tricked? Some of you were tricked, right? So be very careful. You must read the words and you must understand what the advertisement or the visual text is trying to show you. Don't jump to conclusions. Be very careful, okay? Be very careful. Every mark is very important. Okay, second one. Participants will receive a fun pack if they register. So I'm looking for a date on which the participants must register in order for them to qualify for the fun pack. So I need to look out for the keyword fun pack. Now, can anyone tell me where I can find the fun pack? Okay, can you read for me the sentence where I can find the fun pack? Gautam, can you read me the sentence?
The sentence is early bird freebies. Register
Good.
before 23 October 2018 to receive a fun backpack.
Everybody, can you hear that Gautam made a mistake? Can anyone point to me what was the mistake that Gautam made when he read that? Anyone? Muyen, can you stop playing with the backgrounds, please? It's very distracting. Yes, Andrea, can you point out to me what mistake Gautam made?
He said register before 23 October.
What's the mistake? You've forgotten what I taught you in oral, haven't you? Every single one of you, I gave you one-to-one and I corrected you on this multiple times and I warned you never to do this. And yet, one person did it and the other person cannot spot the error. What is the mistake that I warned you about, right? Gautam himself has realized his mistake. Very good. I'm glad to see that. All right, Andrea, you need to reflect on what is the mistake. You repeated it and yet you didn't spot it. Okay, let's see. Ian, what is the mistake?
23rd October.
Very good. I told you all never to read the date as 23 October, 21 October, 1 October, 2 October, didn't I? Everybody, didn't I say that? That is the absolute worst way to read a date because it immediately exposes the fact that you don't know how to read dates, which is the most basic of all oral reading skills. So it's 23rd, 31st, 5th, 6th. All right, Andrea, do you get it? Okay, and you actually repeated the mistake. So you should be more alert, all right? 23rd of October, 5th of November. You never read a date by its number. You read it in terms of its appellation, RDST, remember? Okay, Gautam, I'm sure you realized that, right? After you sort of said it, huh? So, but Gautam is correct, 23rd October. So before is the keyword. Again here, very tricky, right? Before 23rd October. So if I put the answer as number 2, is my answer correct? If I put my answer as number 2, 23rd October, is the answer correct? Yi-Chen, why is it not correct?
Because it says before.
So what should be the correct answer?
Number 1.
Number 1, right? Very good. The only date out of the 4 that is before 23rd is the 20th of October, right? Everything else is after 23rd October, right? The other 2 are even worse. They're in November, okay? So can y'all see that it can be very tricky, right? If you just read that and you see the word 23rd October, you're just going to jump in and you're just going to point to 23rd October and you will get the answer incorrect, wrong. So can you see question 1 and 2 are already very tricky. So visual text is where you all need to be very careful, okay, boys and girls? Promise me you'll be very careful, okay? Because it may look very simple, but it's like, you know, all the traps are buried under the ground. They want you to fall for these tricks. And if you are not careful, you will. If you don't read carefully, you will. You need to look out for the keywords in the passage, okay? So you need to highlight every single answer. So for question 15, I've highlighted. For question 16, I've highlighted. For question 17, Susan is 12 years old. How many activities can she take part in? So I'm looking for activities that 12-year-olds can take part in. And I'm looking for the number. So let's identify all the activities that 12-year-olds can take part in. Okay, so let's look at all the activities. Okay, so as you can see, can y'all just tell me what activities she can take part in? Okay, and explain to me why. You can give me one by one, all right? Eric, sure, go ahead.
She can take part in face painting because they say no one is too young or too old.
Very good. So face painting, no one is too young or too old. So this tells me that that's 1. Okay, good. What else can she take part in, Joshua? Joshua? Joshua, I can't hear you.
Kids race.
Sorry?
The kids race.
Kids race. Okay, very good. And that's age 3 to 12. Very good. Thank you. Alexis? Is Alexis there? Okay, never mind. Janessa?
She can also take part in the art contest.
Art contest. Very good. That's 6 to
It
12.
is 6 to 12.
Very good. Thank you very much, Claire.
She can take part in the family race
Okay, family race.
because it's suitable for all the ages.
Suitable for all ages. Is there anything else that I missed out? Are there any other activities you can take part in? No, right? Okay, so how many activities are there in total here? Can we count them all together? 4. Okay, very good. So 1, I can count down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 4. Okay. So again, I'm very careful, right? To make sure that I match up all of the ages, so that I can get the correct answer. I don't rush through. This is the very difficult question. Question 18. Which of the following statements is true? That means I need to go through every question to prove whether it's true or false, right? Then I need to put a tick or a cross next to it, okay? So I want to see on the day of the exam that you go through every question to tick and cross it until you find the correct one. Okay, so everyone can participate in the art contest. True or false? Everybody, thumbs up for true, thumbs down for false. Thumbs down. Okay, false. Very good. Can someone tell me where I can find the evidence for the fact that not everyone can participate in this? Let's have Thaddeus give us the answer to this. Where does it say that?
They say only ages to 6 to 12.
Very good. So not everybody, right? Only if you're aged between 6 and 12. Good. Next one, interested participants can call to register for the event. So if I want to register, I can call. Is it true or false, everybody? True or false? Can I register by calling? False. Very good. And who can tell me again, where is the evidence that tells me I cannot call? Cannot call. Okay. Let's have Andrea answer this.
For more information, you may call Jimmy.
Okay. That's not the correct one, right? So I cannot register. I can only get information, right? But where does it tell me to register, Andrea? Where does it tell me how to register?
Register at www.singertimesrun.com between 20 November and 13 November.
Sorry, did you make that mistake again, Andrea?
Between the 20th of November and the 13th of November.
Can you all see that when you make mistakes, you tend to be very stubborn in not correcting them? Because when we do something too often, we make a habit of it. So it's hard to break habits, okay, Andrea? You have to break that habit of calling out the numbers and read the dates as they are meant to be read. 3rd, 15th, 18th, 20th. And many of you have the same habit, right? Because when we did one-to-one oral, I corrected many of you on this. So please practice correctly reading out the dates, because this will otherwise make you sound like your English is not very good. Okay, so it is a date giveaway. Please don't allow people to find fault with you about how you read your dates. Okay, good. So interested participants have to register through the website and not by calling. Okay, next, number 3, Artgonics Academy sponsors the face painting activity. True or false? Does Artgonics Academy sponsor the face painting activity? True or false? False. Very good. I love it. Okay. And what is the evidence that tells me that Artgonics does not sponsor that activity? Let's see. Janessa, go ahead.
They did not say that.
No? They do say something about Artgonics Academy. So you got to look for Artgonics Academy and find it. Okay, Cheyenne, what do you think?
Under the art contest, they wrote that prizes are sponsored by Argonics Academy.
Very good. So Artgonics doesn't sponsor face painting, it sponsors the art contest instead, right? So they don't sponsor face painting, they do, however, sponsor the art contest. So definitely wrong. And lastly, interested participants, actually you know this is the correct answer already, right? Because it's the only one left. But let's look for the answer, okay? Interested participants can email Jimmy if they want to know about the event. Okay, just now, didn't Andrea already read, sorry, not Andrea, didn't Janessa already read us the answer, right? Okay, right at the bottom here, okay, for more information, you can call Jimmy or email him, right? Okay, so they can email Jimmy, right? Here, this is the answer. So the answer is number 4. Okay, can you all see that this section actually takes a lot of time? It's not as quick as you think it is. And the more time you spend here, the more careful you are, the less marks you will lose. Remember, minimizing mistakes means maximizing marks, okay? So don't rush through this section. That's the lesson I want to leave you all with because it's very tricky. And if you do rush through, you will end up with a lot of marks lost here. Marks that you could easily have regained, okay? So please don't rush through this section. Slow down. Everybody say slow down at visual text. Okay, imagine that visual text is a hump in the road. You mustn't drive across the hump at high speed. You got to slow down and slowly cross it before you move on to the next obstacle. Is that clear, everybody? Do not rush through visual text. You rush through at your own peril. Okay, so done. Okay, that's the 4 questions. In the exams, there may be 5 questions, right? It may be 4 or 5 questions, but it's the same format, right? So go through very carefully. Next. Right? This is the non-fiction comprehension text, okay? Non-fiction, this one very easy one, huh? A lot of the questions are just tick or MCQ, right? So let's take a moment to read this together, okay? Let's take 15 minutes just to read through it. 10 minutes, all right? I'll give you 10 minutes, huh? You read through, and then I want you to try to think about, sorry, Joshua, I pressed the button incorrectly. I was trying to lower your hand, okay? Read through it in the next few minutes, okay? Right? And then I want you to think about where you can find the answers to each of these questions. And then I will ask some of you randomly. I won't ask you to raise your hands. I will just pick some of you randomly to answer the questions, okay? So everybody gets to participate, right? And there are other questions as well. Don't worry. I will try to give everybody a chance to answer this evening. So I want everyone to read and engage, okay? Callum, are you distracted or are you focusing on the screen? Okay, I'm sure you all can see that this is a non-fiction text, right? The title or the topic of this text will probably be, what do you think would be the title of this text if it had a title? Andrea?
Sunflower.
Yeah, sunflowers, right? Yeah, it will probably be sunflowers, okay? Who's still reading? Okay, right, finish up. I want us to focus on questions 31 to 35, okay? There are a few other questions below, but let's just look at these few questions first, okay? 31 to 35. Okay, they should be quite easy, right? Okay, so question 31. Why are sunflowers known as annual plants? So again, I'm going to highlight the why, and I'm going to highlight the annual plants. So I'm looking for the word annual plants, okay? So it's over here, right? Annual plants such as sunflowers live for a year or less, okay? So the answer is found right here, okay? Let's consider it, right? Because I'm looking for the keyword here. Can you all see? The keyword here and the keyword here shows us the answer quite clearly, all right? I'm going to call somebody. Okay, Yen Liang, what do you think is the answer to question 31? It's okay if you get it wrong, but give it a try and tell me why.
They only live for a year.
They only live for a year. You're absolutely right. Excellent. And where did you get that from? Where did you find that answer, Yen Liang?
Annual plants such as sunflowers live a year or less.
Live a year or less, okay? So the word annual simply means that they only live for a year maximum. Okay, their maximum lifespan is 1 year. Okay. By the way, do you all know what's the maximum lifespan of a typical human being? No? Okay. It's between an 80 and 100 years, right? Do you all know the average lifespan of a dog? Yes, it's between 10 to 15 years, right? Yeah, 10 to 15 years. Okay, so on average, human beings live about 8 to 10 times longer than dogs. Okay, and dogs live about 10 to 15 times longer than sunflowers. Okay, right? So different animals and creatures have different lifespans. And the lifespan of a sunflower is 1 year. That's why it's called an annual plant, right? Annual plants live for only 1 year. Then they wilt and they die, and new plants will grow in their place. Okay, so very good. Again, the keyword. Next one. Decide on the type of petals, okay, on a sunflower head. Okay, so I'm going to highlight types of petals on a sunflower head. Take your chosen answer. So, I'm looking at question 32. Are yellow in color. So, which of the petals are yellow in color? Okay, so which one? The disc petals are arranged in the middle of the head are usually brown. Outer petals are called yellow ray petals. Okay, so can you find the answer and tell me which is the answer and where you can find it? Okay, Thaddeus, come, tell me which one is the answer. Which one is yellow in color? Is it disc petals or ray petals?
Ray petals.
Okay, so I'm going to put a tick at ray petals and I'm going to be correct. Can you read me the sentence where you find the answer here?
The outer petals are called yellow ray petals.
Very good. Can you see the word yellow here? And the word yellow is describing the ray petals. Excellent. So notice how I'm annotating, right? I'm just focusing on the answers. The keywords, I find it in the passage, and then I help to find the answer from those keywords, okay? It's very simple. Next one, which of the petals help to attract birds and insects? So I'm looking for the petals that attract the birds and insects for pollination, okay? So which of the petals attracts bird and petal and insects for pollination? Okay, let's have Kaylen, go ahead.
Ray petals.
Ray petals. And how do I find the answer? Can you read me the sentence that tells me?
These petals help to attract insects and birds for pollination.
Okay, and the word these petals refers to the ray petals, right? Not to the disc petals, right? Because I'm talking about the ray petals now. These same petals also attract the birds and the insects. Very good. And finally, they grow in the center of the sunflower. Which of the petals grow in the center of the sunflower? Xavier, which one?
Disc petals.
The disc petals grow in the center. And can you read me the center, the sentence that tells me that?
The disc petals, arranged spirally, are in the middle of the head and are usually brown.
Very good. They are in the middle of the head, right? So they are right in the center of the flower. The word center and the word middle, they are the same. Okay? In the center, in the middle, I'm looking for the same type of word. And remember, words that have the same meaning but are different in form are called what? What are words with the same meaning but are different in form? Remember we just covered it yesterday, right? Alexander?
Synonyms.
Synonyms, right? I'm looking for a synonym of center, and the word middle is the synonym of center. Very good. So these words come in handy, right? They help us to remember that words with the same meaning come together. Okay, last one for this page. Sunflower oil can be obtained from seeds with what coat? So what color coats am I looking for that can produce the sunflower oil? Who would like to try this? I'm going to call somebody else. Hugo. Yes, go ahead, Hugo. Which is the answer? Black, brown, or yellow? And tell me where to find it, okay?
The answer is black.
Black, perfect. Well done. And where can I find? Can you read me the sentence, please?
It says that sunflower seeds with black seed coats are crushed to release the oil.
Very good. So the sunflower oil comes from the black seed coat, right? So the answer is definitely black. Awesome. Very good. Let's go on to the next few questions. Okay, it's the same passage. Don't worry. It's the same passage on the left. I just put it this way so you all can easily refer to the answer. Okay. Question number 36 to 37. I'm looking at the use of the sunflower oil. Okay. What is it used for? So if it's used for this thing is true. If it's not used for this thing is false. Okay. So question 36. Sunflower oils, sunflower seeds are used to soothe sore throats. Okay. Who says, let's see, I'll ask somebody, okay. Shupo, is it true or false? Is it used to soothe sore throats?
False.
False, very good. And can you read me the sentence that tells me that this is false?
Sunflower petals are used at tea to treat sore throats.
Very good. Sunflower petals and not the seeds are used as tea, right? So the sunflower petal, not the seeds. Excellent. So it's false. Okay. Next one, sunflower oil is used in salad dressings. Let's have Alexis. Can you tell us whether it's true or false? Is sunflower oil used in salad dressings? True or false?
True.
True. Very good. You're absolutely right. And can you read me the sentence where I can find the answer in the passage?
People use the oil in their cooking or as salad for dressing.
Very good.
Dressing
People
for
use
salad.
they use the oil in their cooking or as dressings for salad, right? Salad dressing or dressing for salad is exactly the same thing. Excellent. Well done. Okay. So as you all can see, the answers are found with the keywords. I look for the keyword salad dressing, or I look for synonymous word that has the same meaning, and I find the answer right there. It's very easy. Okay. So I just need to do it consistently in order to get it correct. Okay. So far, are you all doing okay? Is Mr. Pang going too fast? Am I going too slow? Just right? Okay, excellent. Right? Very good. So question 38, right? What does the phrase giants among garden plants mean? So giant among garden plants has two different possible answers. So I'm looking for two ticks. So you must read the question. Many of you only take once, then you lose 1 mark. Okay, so read the question, read the instructions. Muyen, please focus, right? Read the question, read the instructions. If you don't read the instructions, sometimes you will miss out important details like I'm looking for 2 answers here. So I need to tick it twice. Okay, so there are giants among garden plants. Okay, so I'm talking about the size of these sunflower plants in relation to other plants. Okay, Andrea, can you give me one of them, please?
Sunflowers tower over at the garden plant.
Very good. The word tower over means that they are very big, right? They are bigger than the others, right? Excellent. What is the other one, Cheyenne?
Sunflowers are huge.
Perfect. Okay, the word huge tells me that they are gigantic, right? So again, I'm looking for synonyms, right? Can y'all see? A lot of the tests are testing you on whether you understand the meanings of the words or words that are related to them. In this case, the word huge and the word tower are both synonymous with the word gigantic, okay, or giant. All right, good, well done. Question 39, and this is the last question for this passage. Which word shows that the sunflowers dry up by winter? Dry up, meaning they lose their moisture, meaning they become husks and, you know, they become like super dry. Eric Shah, go ahead and tell me the answer, please.
Wither.
Wither, very good. The word wither means to dry up. Okay, obviously not to last, right? Last means to endure and to not give up. Okay, good. Next, let's go to the next passage. And this is the last passage for today. Then we're going to end off here. Okay, good job, everybody. Let's take a minute to read this. Okay, it should be quite easy. Then I'll call some of you who have not yet answered. Okay, to answer these few questions. So those of you who haven't yet answered, please be alert because I will definitely call on you next. All of you who have answered before, y'all can relax, take a breath. Okay, because I will not call upon you for this next section. Okay, but you can always come in and correct if the answers are incorrect. Okay, so those who have not yet been called upon, I will be looking at you very closely. Okay, or at least I haven't called you very often, right? I'll be looking at you and trying to call you next. Okay, so read this. This passage is about Albert Einstein. It's a story about him. So this is kind of like more of a narrative. Okay, even though the person actually existed. So this is like a non-fiction narrative. Okay, it's a story about this person's life, Albert Einstein. Do you all know who he is, by the way? Right? Do you know what he's famous for? Right? He's very famous as a what? What's his job? What's his his job in life? Yeah, okay. Cheyenne, what's his job?
He's a mathematician.
Oh, yes, that's true. He is a mathematician, but he's not primarily a mathematician, yeah? Okay. He's more than a mathematician, right? Thaddeus, do you have a different word besides mathematician?
The same.
Oh, mathematician. Okay. Terence, what about you?
Scientist.
Scientist. Yeah, he was a scientist. Anybody had a different word besides mathematician or scientist? Anybody with a different word besides mathematician or scientist? No? Okay. Actually, to be very precise, Einstein was a lot of things. He was a mathematician, he was a scientist, he was a philosopher. He also played he also played the violin very well. He was a violin player as well. Okay, very famous violin player as well. Janessa, yes, do you want to add something?
What's a philosopher?
Oh, sorry. A philosopher is someone who thinks about the meaning of life. Okay, he tries to explore the big questions like why are we alive? What are we on earth for? How does the universe work? Big questions about, how life works around us. And it's more than just science, it's more than just math, it's everything combined, right? It's all about life. So he was a great thinker, right? He was a great philosopher, right? We use the word philosopher to talk about people who are very intellectual and who think about life and how it works. Okay, right? So that's the word philosopher. Okay, not many people can qualify for that term. Not all scientists and mathematicians are philosophers. Andrea, yes, did you want to add something?
Find out any of his questions answers.
I'm sorry, what? What did you say? Can you speak a little louder?
Did he find out any of the questions answers?
He did try to find out, like, for example, an equation that could explain how the universe worked, right? And he has left behind some equations that teach us how to figure out how the whole universe works. But no, there were many questions that he couldn't answer because, there wasn't enough time for him to figure out everything, right? The universe is just too large, right? There are just too many things to think about, right? Yeah, so he could only answer some of those questions, right? That's why when you all grow up, there will still be questions left for you to answer. There will still be things left for you to explore, right? And for you to discover, because the universe is just too large for 1 or 2 people or even 1 or 2 billion people to find all the answers to. Okay, so that's the exciting thing about growing up, right? Boys and girls, right? You all have the whole universe to explore. Okay, read this. For now, I limit you to this passage. Not talking about the universe anymore. We just focus on this particular passage, okay? Then I'll ask a few of you to answer some of the questions, all right? Okay, so the first one, right? Which of these words tells us that Einstein was a talented man? Remember, I said he had many talents, right? It wasn't just math, it wasn't just science, he had many talents. Claire, would you like to try this?
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay, again, brilliant is the word synonymous with talent, right? When you are brilliant, you are very talented, you're very intelligent, you have many, many different strengths and talents, okay? Now, next one, question 41, the object that Albert Einstein received from his father, the object, okay? Lucas, what was the object that Einstein received from his father?
A compass.
Very good. Can you read me the sentence where it says so?
At 5 years old, he became fascinated with a compass given by his father.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Lucas. You're absolutely right. And in this case, right, be careful how you spell the word, okay? Because if you spell it wrongly, you will get it wrong. So copy the word correctly, okay? Ian, please don't play around with your mouse, right? I'm looking at you and you are being recorded. Oh dear, did I forget to record? Oh no, I'm recording, thank goodness. All right, good. Okay, so compass, excellent. Question 42. What did Albert do to discover how things work? So what did he do? And this is a 2-mark question. 2 marks means how many points? Show me with your fingers. 2 marks means 2 points, right? 1 mark means 1 point. 3 marks means 3 points, okay? So the number of marks tells me the number of points I need to include. And here, let me break it down into 1 point each, okay? So I'll call on 2 people to answer what are the 2 things he did. So it must be actions that he did. Gake, can you give me the first one, please? What was the first thing that he did to discover how things work? Just one thing, don't give me 2 things, just give me one thing he did to discover how things work, Gake. Again, if you're not sure, sorry, what did you do? Yes? What did you do?
I don't know.
You cannot not know. I've been trying to teach you how to apply the principles here. You look for the keyword in the passage. The keyword here is discover how things work. Look for the words discover how things work. The answer is nearby there. Look for it now, Gake. I refuse to accept the answer I don't know. Look for it now. Everybody else will wait for you, please. I did not spend half an hour of my time this evening for you to give up. All right? Nobody is allowed to give up. I want everybody to be trying. And Gake, you'll be the first to try. Go ahead. Where can you find the words discover how things work? Or how things work? Where can you find it? Which paragraph, Gake? Tell me which paragraph.
Paragraph 3.
3, very good. Can you read me the sentence where these words occur? Read me the sentence. Just read me the sentence.
Albert, always curious, Albert wanted to know how things work.
Very good. Can you see the word how things work there? Now, can you see that the answer comes after how things work?
Yeah.
Everybody, can you all see the answer there? Okay, good. Now, Gake, I want you to break up the answer into 2, and I want you to only give me the first part. What's the first thing he did to discover how things work? What did he do first? What did he do? Look for the action words, the verbs. What did he do?
He read a book.
Very good. Not just one book, but he read many books. And the word is read, not read, because the past tense of read is read. It's spelled the same way, but it's pronounced read. He read books. Got it, Gake? Gake, do you get it?
Yeah.
Can you see that that's how you find the answer? Right? You cannot give up. You must always apply the same principle. Look for the keyword, find it in the passage, and then usually it's before or after the keywords. Everybody, do y'all get it? Can y'all see how easy it is, right? If Gake can do it, so can you. If I can do it, so can you, right? So he read books. That's the first point, right? He read books. And it's right there, you know. The second point is right there, right? He read books. How do I link to the second point? What connector do I use to link from one point to the second? What connector can I use to link it? What about Jia Yu? What connector can I use to link the both? What connector should I use, Jia Yu? And very good. Can you tell me what's the second point since you are online? Carry on. What did he do besides reading books? He read books and
conduct countless experiments on the subject.
not experience. Read the word properly.
Experiments.
Oh dear, you don't know what this word is? This is what you do in the science lab, right? What do you do in the science lab? What do you conduct in the science lab, Jia Yu?
Experiment.
Experiments. Everybody say experiments. Okay, experiments. We conduct experiments in the science lab. So he read books and conducted. I need to change this to the past tense, right? I cannot conduct experiments. I have to change to conducted experiments, right? And he didn't just conduct one experiment. He conducted countless experiments, right? Conducted countless experiments, okay? Very good. Now, can you all see, everybody, that if you apply the principle, it's not difficult to get it, but you cannot give up, all right? Everybody, right? Especially Gake, I want you to promise me you will not give up. Is that clear? I want you to apply the principles and try your best to do it without giving up, all right? That is not an acceptable answer in my books. So here, read books, conducted countless experiments. This is 1 mark, and this is another mark. Any questions so far? Okay, let's move on to the next question. What does it in line 10 refer to? Okay, so I'm looking for the word it in line 10. Okay, it calmed his mind. He enjoyed playing the instrument because it calmed his mind. Okay, now can anyone tell me what this instrument was? Muyan, go ahead. What was this instrument? It refers to
The violin.
the violin. Okay, the violin. Do you all know what the violin is? Okay, can you all mime for me how you play a violin? Can you show me the action of how you play the violin? Yeah, okay, you use one hand to hold it to your, and then you use the other hand to bow the strings, right? Yeah, that's how you play the violin, right? Okay, and the violin was what Einstein played very well, right? He was quite an amazing violin player, okay? People who listened to him thought that he was a concert violinist. You all know what's a concert violinist? Okay, someone who plays for a living, someone who plays on the orchestra and who's so good that people travel around and pay money to watch them play. Okay, so Einstein was a superb violinist. So he played the violin. It in line 10 refers to the violin. Yay, finishing off. Let's finish this, okay? Right, next one and the last page. Question 44. Study the two sentences in A and B. Give a reason for your answer, okay? So is it Albert Einstein did not have many friends in school? That was true, right? He didn't have many friends in school. What was the reason why he didn't have many friends in school? Let's see. Who is brave enough to answer this question? This is not easy, huh? Okay. Who's brave enough to answer this question? Anybody? Okay. Janessa, are you raising your hands?
Can you repeat the question you just now said?
Sure. My question is, Albert Einstein did not have many friends in school. The reason is what I'm looking for now. Can you tell me from the passage, what is the reason Albert Einstein did not have many friends? Why did he not have many friends? The answer is in the 5th paragraph. Janessa, you want to try? Or you want to give someone else a chance first?
Because
Yep.
he was a very quiet person.
No, look for the did not have many friends, then look around that for the answer. The answer is there. Look for the sentence did not have many friends, then look around it for the answer. Okay.
Because
Go ahead. Oh, quick. Other people want to answer.
I think I'll just let other people answer.
Okay, Cheyenne, go.
Because he kept mostly to himself.
Very good. Do you all know what it means to keep to yourself? Anybody knows what it means? What does it mean to keep to yourself? Andrea, what does it mean? Not really talk to other people, right? Not really socialize with other people, not really go out to recess with them, not really play with them, right? Not really spend time with them, but just always be by yourself, right? Being a very private person, okay? Good. Next, it tells us that Albert Einstein gave up easily in school. That's false, right? That's not true. Not true, huh? So what tells us that he did not give up easily in school? What reason tells us? Dylan, can you tell me what is the reason that he did not give up easily in school?
He wanted to prove his principal wrong.
So what did he do? What did he do? Is what he did. Is what he wanted, right?
Excelled in school.
You what?
He excelled in school.
No, can you not leave things out, please? Don't leave things out. Why are you leaving the other part out?
He worked hard and finally excelled in school.
Very good. Boys and girls, please don't leave things out. Do you all get what I mean? Can you see there is an in-text sentence there? He worked hard and finally excelled in school. Don't leave things out. Don't selectively pick things and leave things on the table. Don't do that, right? If it's in an in-text sentence, give it as an in-text sentence, okay? So what did he do? He worked hard. Because if I don't do work hard, then there's no reason why he excelled, right? It's because he worked hard that he began to excel, right, in school, and excelled in school, okay? Right? So his work was hard. He had hard work, and that was why he excelled in school. Excellent. Okay, let's move on. Question 45. I need to arrange these sentences in order, but I'm going to ignore this because this is not going to be tested in your end of year examination. So I'm not going to do sequencing. We'll just skip to question 46. Okay, question 46. Jovin, can you give me the first adjective from the last paragraph that describes Albert? And Amira, can you give me the second adjective? Okay, so whichever of you is ready first can unmute and tell me the first or the second adjective. Go ahead.
Sharing his knowledge in science.
I'm looking for one word only, adjective. Do you know what's an adjective? An adjective is a word that describes a noun. You just gave me an entire phrase that's incorrect. I'm only looking for two words, one word and another word. Incorrect, Jovin. Please look again. Amira? Read the question, please, Jovin. You have a tendency not to read the question and blurt out what's on your mind. Don't do that. Think before you answer, please. Okay?
Amazing.
Sorry, who is answering?
Me,
Identify yourself. Who are you?
Amira.
Amira, okay. Sorry, Amira, I can't see you on my screen. Hold on. Let me just identify you. Okay. Okay, yes, amazing is correct. All right, so I'm going to accept Amira's answer. Thank you. Very well done. He is amazing, right? Because the word amazing here describes Albert Einstein, right? Why was he amazing? Because he shared his knowledge with other people, okay? And what else is another adjective that describes him? Adjective cannot be any other word besides adjective. An adjective is a word that describes the noun. The amazing Albert Einstein, right? So amazing is an adjective. Okay, Jovin, I give you one more attempt before I let the others answer. Give me a... Sorry? Say again.
Knowledge.
Knowledge is not an adjective. Knowledge is a noun. Okay? So you see, Jovin, if you don't know what is a noun and an adjective and a verb and adverb, you will never get questions correct. So this goes back to your primary 1 and 2 knowledge already, right? You need to brush up on what is a verb, what is a noun, an adjective, and an adverb. Do I get what? Do you understand what I'm saying, Jovin? Okay, this exposes that you have some issues with your foundations. Please work on it. Cheyenne.
Great.
Great. Thank you. Okay. And again, the word great is describing Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was great, right? So the word that describes a noun is an adjective. Any adjective is a word that describes a noun. The handsome Mr. Pang, the beautiful, I don't know, Mrs. Lim, whatever, okay? So you describe somebody by using a word, that word is an adjective, okay? You describe an action, that's an adverb, right? He ran quickly, he punched very hard, right? He sang beautifully, right? These are all adverbs. So adjectives describe nouns and adverbs describe verbs, okay? Good job, everybody. Did you find this rather helpful, right? I hope that you've learned some important lessons. Be careful at visual text and use the keywords to find the answers in comprehension. You can't go wrong. Find the keywords in the passage, look around that keyword for the answer, and you cannot go wrong. If the answer is a 2 mark, then you give 2 points. If the answer is a 1 mark, give 1 point. Any questions, boys and girls? You have been with me for the last 50 minutes. Good job. This is the longest session we've had for a while. So well done, everybody. If you have no questions, right, I will send a copy of this video, right? Please remember to finish your practice papers. And I'll try to have some one-on-one sessions with some of you, okay, before your exams next Monday, okay? If you have no further questions and you have no further needs, good night, everybody. I will let you know what time our session tomorrow is, okay? I hope you can all make it for the last session tomorrow. If there's no change, it will be 7 o'clock as well, all right? But if I manage to get dismissed earlier, I will see you all earlier, hopefully. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Enjoy.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Pang.
Good job.
Mr. Pang.
Yes, dear Ethan.
You know the SLS for the Stella reader? I haven't get the
Yes.
Stella reader, so I don't know how to do it.
Actually, right, each of the exercises has the Stellar reader in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it has the actual Stellar text and then the person reading out loud. So you don't actually need the Stellar text.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You can do it. Okay?
Okay.
Yep, give it a try. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.